Hello and welcome to another daily market reading. Today I'm on Bitcoin, I'm on the 8-hour time frame, and it looks like we are just confirming what is going to be a new sideways channel where the price of Bitcoin looks like it's going up, down, up, down, up, down. We are rapidly approaching the bottom side of this channel, and when we go down the time frames, I'm going to show you why this is not just a bottom side of a channel. They are also previous pivot points as well as order blocks and some more important stuff. But having said that, one thing that is worth noting is that this week we've got some inflation data. Today we have already had some data come out, not positive. Obviously, that's normal since the price of oil has been through the roof. It has been very, very high, which is not good for inflation. So this week we have got even more data coming out, and I still think it is going to be bad. It's not going to be good data, and Bitcoin is not going to take that nicely. Bitcoin is going to get slapped across the face with it, and I think the price of Bitcoin is going to come crashing down. That's what I think for Bitcoin. So first off, let's look at the smaller sort of this channel move. Okay, where is our first zone of support? And then once we break it, because I do think that we are going to break it, we're then going to look at the bigger picture and look at where possibly the price of Bitcoin could go to land. Okay, so having said that, I'm going to delete everything and I'm going to go on the 2-hour time frame, and we're going to see, and I'm going to trace out for you a very nice rectangle of where our zone of support is going to be. So this is the ceiling of our channel and this is the bottom of our channel. In my point of view, we were making higher highs, a higher low, fine, really cool, really good. We failed to make a higher high, and it looks like we are now threatening to go test the previous low, okay, which is this one. This is not just a low, this is also where we had a previous resistance, which was the price went up, couldn't break it, couldn't break it, couldn't break it, couldn't break it. We broke it, we tested, and now in theory, if we want to stay bullish, we should get another test and then another move back up. That's ideally what we want to see, because that's how a channel works. Okay, so this is what I'm waiting for. If we do break it, okay, I'm now going to tell you also where the place is that I'm waiting for Bitcoin, which is going to be Fibonacci retracement from there to there. It's going to be roughly at 77,800. This is going to be the 0.618 level. This is going to be where I'm waiting for Bitcoin. So keep that number in mind, okay? I want you to remember that number, 77,800. We're now going to go on the liquidations heat map, and I'm going to go on the 2-week time frame. And I'm going to show you where the biggest liquidations cluster is, where the biggest amount of money is going to be sitting. And it's actually sitting at 77,700, roughly the price point that I told you. Okay, this is where the most relevant amount of money is. There's not much more. There's some really short-term liquidity, okay, which is why, like I just said, we are on a channel, so it does make sense for us to go up down and create some liquidity on both sides of this channel. But if we zoom out a little bit more, we can see how the more relevant, the biggest chunk of money for Bitcoin to go grab is going to be roughly at 77,700. Okay, now that's not it. This is not it. I'm now also going to turn on our indicators, which you can, by the way, also get for free, if I can mention. And you're going to see we've got a daily gap. Okay, we have got a strong daily fair value gap sitting exactly at the start of our 0.618 level at 77,800. If I zoom out to the 4-hour time frame, we can see something even more important. I'm going to turn on our other indicator, which you can still get for free, and it is the signals and order blocks. So having all of these things turned on and knowing about the liquidity that there is, I've got a 4-hour order block, which is drawn out in this green rectangle, which you can see here. We have got the 0.618 level sitting at 77,800. We have got a strong daily fair value gap. And to top it all off, we have also got a 4-hour gap sitting exactly at the midpoint of this strong daily gap. So we've got a bunch of things coming in all very nicely at the exact same point. Okay, so this area looks like a very big area of reaction. Okay, so I heavily doubt it that now the price of Bitcoin is just going to come crashing down, slicing through it all. Maybe not. I don't think so. What I do think so is that we might very possibly get a reaction here and then validate further this new channel. Or if we lose it, if I go back on the 2-hour time frame, and maybe I'm going to clean up all of this. If we do lose this point, I'm going to wait for this little retest and then back down. When we've made it here, you can also see we've got a 2-hour order block sitting around here as well. And also, which I forgot to mention, this support level, which I've identified for Bitcoin, is also where a 2-hour order block is. Okay, so then they're not just random price targets, they are price targets that have got a reasoning, that have got meaning to them. Okay, it looks like also the oscillator, it could be going down. It's got a bit more room to go down, so therefore the price of Bitcoin, at least on the 2-hour time frame, looks like it's got a bit more room to go and react on this order block. Now, also worth noting, my personal best trades have always been on the first test of an order block. This order block is virgin, basically. It has not been tested yet. It has not been touched yet. It was created here, and ever since we have not tested it yet. So when we come down, I will be expecting some kind of a reaction. Maybe not to the top, maybe not. But you never know. But I will be expecting some sort of reaction. Okay, so I think I've left that clear enough for Bitcoin. One asset that I do want to talk about now is going to be Ethereum. Ethereum, if you remember, I'm going to go on the 4-hour time frame, nice and clean, has been a really good proxy for us. Okay, why has it been such a good proxy? Because all of the times that Bitcoin was going up and down and up and down, Ethereum was essentially saying, right, I'm not crashing nowhere. I'm just going from top to bottom, top to bottom, top to bottom, top to bottom. Okay, it was just doing that. It was a really simple and nice and easy to read and easy to understand proxy, at least for me. And I traded it. I placed longs and I placed short orders on these price points. And they worked out. They worked out quite well. Okay, so Bitcoin has now come crashing down, fine, and it looks like Ethereum has been crashing down to the bottom side of this channel, fine. Okay, Ethereum has now gone below this recent low. Cool. We've just gone to grab some liquidity, fine. We are also on an order block, okay, and we are also nearly oversold, fine. That's quite a few things now already starting to add up. It looks like, at least, this in theory should be respected. Okay, that's my point of view. Now, if we lose this channel, if we lose it, I'm then going to wait for the retest. And on that retest, I'm then going to go short. Because if we don't go straight back in it, so if we do go lower, the price of Ethereum goes below this recent low, cool, fine. I will be fine with that as long as we go really quickly straight back in here. If we start wasting time and going like this and not really doing much and then just getting a cheeky retest and then starting to move down, no. I am waiting. If we do go grab some liquidity, I am going to be waiting for the price to go down, grab it, fine, and then go straight back up. Back inside this trading range. If we don't do that, that's not good news. That means, and that's also going to tell me for Bitcoin, that the downtrend has officially started. That's my point of view. That's what I think. You might think that I'm wrong. You might think that I'm stupid. I do not care. This is not financial advice. This is what I think. Okay. Another thing we can trace is a fixed range volume profile. We have currently lost it. Okay, we have currently come out of the value area low, which is just there. I've just traced a line for you nice and clean. And in theory, we should be admitted back in if, and that's a big if we lose it, we get a retest and we don't get accepted back in, that is a really bad sign for Ethereum. That is a really strong sign for it that we are going to carry on going down. Okay, that's the way that I'm looking at Ethereum. That's the way I'm going to be trading. Okay, having said that, let's have a really quick look on USDT. It looks like there could still be a bit of a move up. Okay, it looks like we could just go to test these previous levels, which have also been previous pivot points. And yeah, I think that's about it. Looks like there's still a bit more room to go up, which would make sense for the price of cryptos to come crashing down a little bit more, but not too much. Okay, having said that, we still have not hit this strong daily gap. Okay, I think USDT still needs to go hit this strong daily gap. We've come really close to it twice and we have not hit it yet. So, you know, that's my reading for USDT. I am still kind of hoping for it to go touch it. Once we do touch it, fine, then you can go straight back off, but it's going to make me quite sad if we don't touch it at all. Okay, having said that, I thank you very much for watching this video. Make sure to leave a like, make sure to subscribe and leave a comment, and make sure to keep on watching these videos to keep seeing what our indicators are saying, and also see you tomorrow for another daily market reading. Thank you very much.